Hey guys and gals, welcome to this week's pre-foreclosure daily grind tip of the week. Chris the Drummer Bowles, Bob LaChance, getting back to you guys again. This week we got a couple good deals. One deal is actually the finishing from last week's video.
Yep.
End up. We'll tell you exactly how that ended up. Actually, some great tips out of that one. And also a deal we're working on in Virginia with a VA loan. Both these deals we're talking about are Bank of America servicing. They're servicing the actual loans, which a lot of deals, like we always talk about, deal with Bank of America. But anyway, Chris, let's talk about the deal last week, and let's just give a quick update, just in case someone didn't see this video from last week. Let's just give a refresher video on what happened last week.
Okay, basically two mortgages. First with B of A, as Bob said. The second was a lien that we found out about roughly 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, was on title. So we had a nice little surprise there. Basically, you know, I had kind of padded the HUD a little bit, giving us a buffer to work with.
We padded it a lot, not a little buffer.
Which came in handy very nicely on this one, as basically we offered the second $3,000 to release their lien, which they accepted, and I had just barely over $3,000 that I had extra, so we were able to allocate that to them, and didn't have to change the purchase price or the net to the first mortgage, so we were able to get approval quickly on that.
Yeah. So what happened is we had 2 days to get approval on this thing, or the tax credit for the buyer was going to expire.
Right.
So Chris diligently broke some serious stones to get this thing done. So Chris, what would you think the button was to get this thing accomplished? Because we all know that Bank of America moves probably as slow as a snail.
Yeah, well, the button obviously was the tax credit, which myself and the listing agent, that's how we were able to finally get through to them. Each of us were emailing and calling the negotiator and the
How many times a day?
At least 3 times a day.
All right. See, we don't do this on a daily basis, meaning hound lenders like this. So don't take this the wrong way.
Right.
When it's down to crunch time and you absolutely have to hound to get what you want, the squeaky wheel gets the grease kind of thing, that's when you got to do it. But when you do it, make sure you have a button that you're going to push, meaning the button here was the tax credit that was going to expire.
Right. Which the negotiator, you know, she totally understood the situation. She just was like, you know, here's the deal, guys. Obviously, I'm going to do everything I can to get to your file. We have hundreds of deals, and I personally have well over 100, 200 deals that I have to go through and I have to approve today because of the tax credit. Yours being one of them, and she got to ours that day, and we were able to close it up on Friday. So. And
a good point again, Chris builds great rapport. If he was a jerk to him, guess what? He would get red flagged, and they do that within lenders. So yeah. Don't get red flagged. If you want to stay out of the red flag file, if you were territory, okay, build rapport and don't be a jerk.
Right. Exactly.
Right? I don't mean to be that harsh, but it's that true. Yeah. The deal we have down in Virginia,
yep.
The VA deal. Tell us a little bit about it.
That was one that the single mortgage on this one. The seller's loan is backed by VA, you know, government investor. They basically, as they've been for a while, still were looking to get. They needed to net 88% of the purchase price. And
that's net. Just to, I don't mean to interrupt you, but that's netting in your pocket. So they want 80. For instance, if we got an offer at 100 grand, they want to net in their pocket $88,000. Okay, that's what they want in their pocket. Everything up and above that is commission, closing costs, second mortgage, whatever. Right. So just to be clear, those are the discount ratios of VA.
Right. And so I totally lost you.
Oh, Bank of America. Sorry, Bank of America. What you were ready to say was Bank of America. When they're actually servicing it for VA, it's not on the Equator system as of today.
Right.
Right. Either is FHA.
Right. Right. Those probably will be on Equator. A little bit further down the road here, but for right now, they still review those, you know, separate from Equator. So. And
Equator is their management system.
Right. Right.
That they put all their short sales through and how they manage their big debacle over there.
Right. Right.
So,
exactly.
Some other tips, some other things Chris and I wrote down is that they do appraisals, not BPOs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the difference between a BPO is a broker price opinion done by a licensed real estate agent. An appraisal is an appraisal done by a licensed appraiser.
Right.
Those two different things. How long did it take you from start to finish on this deal?
Took us a few months on it. Not too bad. Keep in mind, most of that time is just going to have to do with, it's going to take a month of that or a month and a half of that it's going to take just for the negotiator to get to your file, just because, again, with these government investors, there's not a lot. The negotiators that work on them, whether it's at Bank of America or Chase or any other lender,
that's servicing it for them.
they have to be certified to handle VA, or whether it's FHA or a lot of the government investors, they need to be certified. So just keep that in mind. Most of the negotiators are probably very overwhelmed. And so a lot of times it's going to take, and you can tell, your buyer's this, your seller's this, anyone else that's involved, it's going to take a month, month and a half before the negotiator can even look at your file.
Good thing VA is a lot better than FHA.
Right.
There's not as many VA loans as you find as FHA loans.
Exactly.
Which that is a good thing.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Appraisals. They typically get renewed every 3 months.
Yeah.
That's a good one, and that's standard. Pretty much around the board, whether it's a BPO or an appraisal.
Right.
That's pretty good. Touch upon the extension, which he specifically said to you.
Right. Another thing too to keep in mind with a VA loan is that they will not give an extension on the approval. So they'll usually be pretty flexible with how much time they'll give you up front. She gave us, I believe, about 40 days, just over a month, to close this thing up. But she specifically said in her email to me, that also included the approval, have to close by this date, as the investor will not grant an extension.
They set some pretty strict guidelines, or what you'd have to do is start the process over. Not saying it can't get done on extending the actual approval letter, but they make it very challenging.
Right.
So
yeah, just got to set that expectation. They're, government investors, very much, especially FHA and VA, they have strict guidelines and they have to adhere to them.
yeah. Other than that, they
really
really don't care if you fall out of the guidelines. It's part of the game. You got to fall within the guidelines. Unfortunately, it is what it is when you're dealing with VA or FHA.
Right.
So anyway, hey guys, check out PropTracker.com. It's our online real estate management tool. We had some more upgrades to this system, which is awesome.
Awesome.
And Chris uses it every day. We use it every day in the office. It's killer. But anyway, Chris DeGermo Bowles, Bob LaChance, getting back here at this week's pre-foreclosure tip of the week.